Hello and welcome to another episode of FPL Escapades. My name is 𝗧𝗘𝗔𝗔𝗥 and as always I'm joined by two of my best buddies Akshay and Anand after a much needed break between two game week 29 and game week 30. Guys, welcome back. Anand, how was the blank? Like no football for a week. Was it welcome or did you miss it or did you were you able to satisfy that need with the international break?
Well, I didn't watch a lot of international break matches. I actually went on a break and just relaxed a little bit. And although I did follow the scores and everything, but yeah, it was just, how do I say, it was football rehabilitation for me personally.
Yeah, and it was welcomed by a lot of managers as well. On Twitter, also, people seem to really enjoy the break they're getting between uh, game weeks, which are coming really quick and fast. Akshay, how was your time off after a successful game week, which we'll talk about later? How was your time off? Were you able to follow, or did you abstain as well?
So I did not watch international matches myself either. So probably just a couple of games here and there featuring United players. So when Luke Shaw started, I was watching the England game, and I did not watch the other game likewise. But yeah, much needed break as you mentioned, and looking forward to the final stages of the season. And I think 8 game weeks left. So yeah, looking forward.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and things are about to get interesting as well with Sergio Aguero leaving Manchester City eventfully or uneventfully, and maybe we'll talk about him later as to would we want to give him a last hurrah in any of our FPL teams, given he'll definitely get some playing time in his final games. For Manchester City, I myself did not watch any international break. I really welcomed the return of Formula One, uh, more so partly because after a horrible game week that I had, game week 69, not point wise, but I did play my free hit to not so great avail as Anand and Akshay. We'll talk about that as well. Definitely not tripling up on Brighton through midfield from Trossard, who I got out to get in Rafinha. It did hurt. I also let go of Lingard to get in to accommodate Kane and Aubameyang both in my team, which really did hurt me a lot. Antonio wasn't in my team, but then again I got Mope for him, so I was happy. But yeah, Game Week 29 seems so far away, right? In the history that I do not really remember as to what feeling that it was to watch games. You forget bad game weeks so fast that it is kind of a blessing if you have a bad game week and you have a 10-14 day break. But yeah, it was okay. Captain pick did pay off well in Rafina. Did definitely do better than many managers. It could have gone better. Cresswell giving a zero, and yeah, it was ruckus all around me in my team. My initial draft was much better, so I do have regrets of not going with my gut feel, and then at the end of the moment, which I've been advocating to my fellow friends and my fellow players, that not to do last minute tweaks and just go with your gut. I did not follow it, and then ended up paying back. Anand, you still had a better free hit in the last game week. Talk to me about your game week and what you felt going into game week 29 and coming out of game week 29 rather.
Yeah, but I didn't score a lot more than you. I just scored 70 points.
But
So
still, I mean,
you
70
didn't
is
have
greater
a.
than 61, man. So,
No, I mean, it's just there's a difference of just 9 points. But yeah, um, I feel personally if you end up getting around 60, 65 points, it's a decent game week. And I got 70, so I'm pretty content with it. Um, I just feel the captaincy choice. I had so many good players. I could have Captain Bamford, Lingard, Kane, or even Rafinha for that matter. But I went with Ova, and yeah, it didn't work as per plan. But happy with the defense of Veltman, Dunk, and Sanchez. So too many eggs in one basket, but it didn't uh, it didn't falter. The plan was good. So yeah, overall decent, decent game week. But yes, I mean free hit was so. How do I say? It was such a boon for all of us. Just 4 matches. in game week 30, and because of free hit, we could just uh, bring in the best assets. Talking about best assets, you know, Akshay just nailed it this game week. Akshay, what a free hit game week you had.
Absolutely a blinder, man. And like, I look at his team and oh my God, what is happening here? A crazy, crazy game with Akshay. Kudos, man. How much did you end up with, and what kind of a rank boost did you get in Game Week 29?
So possibly one of the best game weeks in my FPL career, and 89 points on a free hit, and on a free hit that was being talked about pretty much, like, is free hit the right way to go with just 4 games? Do we have the upside? Like, we ourselves have been speaking a lot about that, but a game week rank of 1829. So I have never seen those figures myself earlier, and yeah, crazy game week for me. Just gutted Rafinha did not finish one of his chances. I still remember some games. Yeah, I do. But he was one on one through one goal, and he came back to his right foot, and somehow he did not decided not to shoot. He just decided to pass, and that could have been an easy brace for him. But otherwise, all the other calls probably just Aubameyang who did not fire, and yeah, pretty good, solid game week, and almost entering 100K right now, which is the this like current target right now. Let's see where we go.
Yeah, man, great. And I'm sure, like, with that awesome rank of 1800, that game week rank definitely would have shot you up really high. I know for one that you've overtaken me, and Anand, I think you've overtaken me as well in our mini FPL mini league as well. So that really hurts. But yeah, 29 is now history, and game week 30 is coming up. So Akshay, what are your plans? I mean, I look at your team. Are there any changes right off the bat? Do you want to make for game week 30, given that you might have a free transfer, or would you want to carry to game week 31? And also, I see a triple up for City. So are you going to give into your emotions and get in Aguero for a last hurrah?
So City have a blank in 33, if you remember. So ideally, you would want to get rid of your City assets if you don't have a fleet, which none of us has anymore. So the plan myself is to get rid of either two or possibly two of these players, and that is not an immediate fix because they have decent fixers till 33, so I can easily play them in. So right now my bench looks like DCL, Maitland Niles, and Pereira, who is injured right now. And if you look at my transfer plan, also the plan is to go Pereira to Luke Shaw, who is looking solid at United and England. Who he also managed an assist for England, by the way. So looking really good down that left, and the only concern I have with Pereira is his injury could be another long one, and we don't know. So Luke Shaw is one of my targets, and this is not a certain transfer that I'm planning to make. It's just because I have a free transfer, but I could easily roll, and I also have some wild plans. So those wild plans could involve me taking a hit from Maitland Niles and playing my bench boost, because if you look at my team right now and the fixtures that all of my 15 players will have if I switch Maitland Niles for maybe a Chelsea defender, because I have money in the bank as well, close to 1.5 possibly. So I can easily get in maybe Aspilicueta or Alonso and go for a bench boost. But that's still a wild plan, and let's see where we go.
Yeah, interestingly enough, you mentioned about City having a blank game week 33, but like right off the bat, I think, do you have in mind that you would want to start shipping them out from the upcoming game week, or would you want to hold them again Leicester and then maybe possibly see what happens against Leeds, given that they do have a Champions League match before the next game week as well. So is that something that you're thinking about, or is that kind of a direction that you want to go in Game Week 30, or would you want to see and then wait it out till Game Week 31?
So the next fixture is City versus Leicester, and it's mostly been a goal scoring game. And I personally see a De Bruyne and a Gundogan goal, because if you remember the last time City played in the Premier League, since then they have had two cup games, and Gundo and KDB have scored in both of them. So both of them have been 2-0, and they scored in both of them. Like, it cannot be any worse for your team if you have both of them on your FPL teams. And coming to game week 33, my plan was ideally to just do a straight swap from KDB to Salah, because Liverpool faced Newcastle in 33, which is a juicy fixture. And Gundo is probably going to become Jota. So that was the plan. Let's see.
Yeah, and Anand, when you look at Akshay's plans, and I again see Kane and Spurs having a double game week in game week 32. So, do you feel that he should stressing on game week 32 as a plan might also work, or is it? Are you like pretty content with what Akshay has said so far?
I think he has a great plan right now. Um, bringing in a Chelsea defender is a good strategy in my opinion, because Chelsea plays West Brom at home, so yeah, a really juicy fixture again. Regarding City assets, um, there is just one doubt I have, and that is actually for Chelsea as well. So both Chelsea and City, they will be playing their Champions League match on 7th of April. So that's you don't know what, if the managers are going to protect their main players in this match. Especially because Chelsea is playing West Brom, and definitely Tuchel will believe that's his second team, or if he chops out some players, definitely that team can beat West Brom. So that is where I just don't know if it's worth it to bring in a Chelsea asset or not. But yeah, I mean fixture wise, it just looks great. Regarding City, you know we've talked enough about them. It just seems like a lottery. Although Gundogan, De Bruyne are just amazing this season, topping all the City charts. But then comes in Riyad Mahrez as well. So City plays Leicester, and in the reverse fixture, City lost to Leicester 5-2, and at the same time, Riyad Mahrez scored a goal and gave an assist as well. So with City, it's a lot of lottery over there. But yes, again, the likes of Gundogan has played 3 matches in the international break. KDB has got a share of games as well. So we never know right now how Pep and Tuchel will play their cards in game week 30. Regarding Spurs, although uh, Spurs did a good job against Villa in blind game week 30 against probably all odds. I mean, people did think that it might be a tight game or something like that, but then Spurs went on to win 2-0, kept a clean sheet as well. But then again, let's see what happens to Son. um, the last match, if I remember, it was a 1-1 draw between Spurs and Newcastle. That infamous Eric Dyer handball, uh, came to Newcastle's rescue. But then again, Mourinho's team, Mourinho will feel the fire. He has to do well, and let's just wait for the press conferences. But yeah, if there is a slight hint that both managers say Pep and Tuchel ends up playing their strongest team, if they say we are going to play a strong team or something like that in game week 30, just to give them a bit of practice just before the Champions League match, because players, they'll be coming from international break, so might be rusty to get along well. So they might again play a strong team too. And with Spurs, it's just about when will Son be back. And if Son's back, then yeah, it might be pretty interesting to even bring in Son with the double game week coming up in game week 32.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, I personally feel that Manchester City's aim would definitely be the Champions League as well. But since they're already running away with the Premier League, I feel Pep might field his strongest team so that they do not have absolutely no chance of dropping those crucial 3 points, which will only take them closer and make it more relaxed in the longer run if they do qualify the Champions League in the later rounds as well. So for yeah, with that in mind, I think I'm going to roll my transfer. Trust. I am trusting my gut this time around, and going ahead with KDB, Gundogan, and Diaz. All the three of them. Hopefully, all of them start. All of them give returns. But definitely, I feel that this might be the right time for City. But like we've already and the entire community has been talking about the Pep Rule, and for years and years now, and no one seems to have the hang of it. So I'm definitely going to take my chance and roll my transfer. One reason is because Anna, like you pointed out, I do intend of getting in Son after Spurs face United in 32. So definitely might even triple up on Spurs because that is the game week I'm planning on playing my triple captainship as well. Because I don't think after this we'll get a chance. I think City might get a double game week or might not, but yeah, I think that this is the time to play my triple captain. And with that in mind, I think I might need to again have that cushion with me of a couple of players that I want to ship out in case the triple captain does not go as intended. So yeah, I do have Shaw, I have Fernandez. My team for the next game week at least looks pretty sorted. Hopefully, the gods are with me, and all the three city assets play, and nobody comes off the bench or is kept at the bench, because they are the ones who, like you've currently correctly pointed out, that these guys Gundogan and KDB are the heavy hitters from Manchester City right now. But yeah, definitely coming back to the Sergio Aguero drama that we have, I'm definitely willing to straight swap Harry Kane or DCL with +1, definitely to get him back in, because I feel there are still goals, a brace, or even a one goal or an assist or maybe an hat trick with Aguero you just cannot say. But yeah, again, Anand, throwing this question and the floor to you again. Are you going to rekindle your love with Sergio Aguero in the last 9 game weeks that he has in the EPL?
Well, it's a really difficult question to answer because I'm really confused right now. But yeah, I don't know right now regarding Aguero. I'm confused about other assets at the moment. Aguero did not even come to my mind because I've already brought him twice this year, this season, and both times it didn't work out for me. Uh, on one particular occasion, it worked so bad that we've already discussed
Yeah,
that I
the
removed Bamford.
Bamford 17-pointer game week.
Yeah, exactly. So definitely, he hasn't come to my thought process at the moment. And also, if you can see, I have three city assets. Two of them are defenders, so it becomes really difficult for me to get in Aguero. But yeah, I do have my wild card left. Akshay has used his wild card. Kshitij, you have your wild card left?
I have my wild card and my triple captain.
Okay. Okay, so I have my wild card left. So maybe if the structure, if I change the structure from getting in a removing a defender from City, then probably there might be a slight chance to get in Aguero, but at the moment, definitely not. I will, but there is one striker that I have brought in twice. Once it didn't work out well, once it did work out decent. It was an average return that I got from him. So Cavani is back in training, and Cavani will be playing Brighton, and there are reports about Martial having a knee injury. I hope I hope it's a minor one. I hope he's back fit. But then if that's the scenario and Cavani is fit, then probably Cavani will start against Brighton. The good thing about United assets is they are not having a blind game week. They're out of the F Cup, so fixtures are with them, and that is why I still feel if can I bring in Cavani at the moment. The only player that I can remove is Iheanacho, but I really don't want to remove him because he's playing well. Even against United in the quarters, he scored a brace. So he's playing well. He's very cheap, and Leicester will have really good fixtures coming up. So I really don't want to remove him. Talking about just short term, Watkins and Bamford, both of them got really nice fixtures. Bamford's playing Sheffield and Watkins playing Fulham. Of course, Fulham has looked better, but then both teams are capable of playing good football, and that may lead to goals. So yeah, really, I don't know how do I bring in Cavani in this team. I'm so tempted to bring in Cavani against Brighton, but that's one thing. Apart from Cavani, I'm also thinking about Havertz, and I'm also thinking about Havertz in place of Salah or Grealish in place of Salah. But then, Havertz because he's playing as a striker, Grealish because he's back and he's just amazing. Before his injury, he looked awesome. He was not just on paper or on the field in terms of FPL 2. He was returning a lot of points. He was consistent, an assist or a goal in every match or two. So Grealish and Havertz are two guys that I'm really eyeing here in place of Salah. And then there are, of course, the evergreen picks like the ones like KDB and Gundogan, even planning to bring them in. But then, as of now, these are the doubts I have. Iheanacho to Cavani, because Iheanacho plays City, but that's his former team. And what if he's on the score sheet again? Because there's this tendency of players scoring against their former teams, just like we saw Jota scored against Wolves a few game weeks back. And I was just telling you about how Mahrez scored against Leicester in the reverse fixture. So there is this thing about players scoring against their former teams. So yeah, so that is why um, maybe Iheanacho will take. And then regarding Salah, it's so difficult to remove him because his fixtures coming. The next few matches that he's going to play will be against Villa, Leeds, Newcastle. Just after the Arsenal match, and Arsenal they just conceded 3 against West Ham. So even if Liverpool's having such a torrid time, they can surely score against Arsenal. But again, with Liverpool, the thing is even they have a Champions League match. So will Klopp rest the likes of Salah or bring if substitute Salah and just after a 60-minute mark. But that's not the case with Grealish. If he's back, then maybe he starts, but we don't know how fit he is. Will he be on the bench or not? And then another dilemma I have is with my defense. So with the double game week, with the blank game week coming up for City, do I remove Cancelo? So as of now, yes, I'm removing Cancelo and getting in Shaw. But then, in my head, like Akshay, even I am planning to take a hit and maybe get rid of Stones and get in James. So I'm thinking of playing 2 City defenders, James, Alonso, alongside Shaw and Dallas. So 4 over there. So this is the plan as of now. But yes, just after talking to you guys, I just realized that Champions League coming. What if Alonso doesn't play? Something like that. Then
Alonso
the
apparently
plan doesn't work.
hasn't really been playing for the past couple of game weeks.
I mean, he has been playing few matches, but it's just like what it's like something like Chilwell gets to play 2, and then Alonso plays 2. There's a mixed thing over there, and Alonso has not been a problem for me at all because whenever he has not played, apart from one occasion when he came from the bench, it was just one occasion. Apart from that, whenever he's not played, somebody from the bench has come. For example, a few game weeks back, Dallas came in, so on. So it has always I have a decent bench, so I really don't mind that as long as um, I don't have a problem with budget. Of course, when there'll be a problem of budget, then I'll definitely think about removing Alonso because he's occupying a big space over there, 5.6. Um, so yeah, there are 3, 4, 5 players I've shortlisted just before the recording, and now we are talking about it. So I just realized that maybe Shaw seems like the best fit as of now, removing Cancelo. I was thinking about removing Stones as well, but then Stones so cheap, he's just so cheap, and he has not done anything wrong. Even in game week 29, he scored a goal. So at that price, I am thinking of just holding him up. But yeah, Shaw seems like the best fit as of now. And at the same time, I'm a little bit inclined towards moving out Salah and getting in Grealish. Also because Villa will also have a double game week in the weeks coming forward. So this is the plan as of now. Very tentative, but the amount of players that I've spoken about, you may feel like I might just play my wild card. But with the blank game week coming up and a double game week coming up, I'm just not very sure that should I use my wild card right now and just target game week 30 or not. The reason being, I have almost all the players who are going to have a home fixture. United will have a home fixture. So does Leeds. So does Villa. So yeah, there are a lot of players that are having home fixtures at the moment in my team, and I just feel like this is not a team that I should just change just for a week. Just have a little bit of patience and then make a call accordingly. As of now, I can even hold Shaw I can even hold Chancellor for example. But yeah, the idea is to get in De Bruyne, and so that is why I feel like it's time for remove one City defender and just just play with one City defender and not have two at the moment because there are more options like Shaw and other attacking defenders out there in the game. So yeah, this is the
Akshay,
thought process, not very conclusive, but I just spoke
yeah, I
about
mean, like
three four players.
you've spoken about so many players. It does seem that it is you might have playing the wild card at the back of your head. Akshay, when you look at Anand's team, do you feel that what his thinking is about dropping off Cancelo, because this looks like a bold move? I can get behind it. Do you see any problems with that kind of a decision? And what about Salah to somebody like Grealish? Are you backing that as well?
So firstly, we'll speak about the City defenders. Like I think we have possibly commented on a post on Twitter as well that the likes of Diaz and Stones are comparatively more safer than Cancelo because he can easily come off the bench as well. And if Diaz or Stones are on the bench, I don't see a chance wherein they come on. Uh, and in case of an injury, it might happen, but apart from that, I don't see them coming on. But with Cancelo, if City are lacking creativity, he can easily put Cancelo on for that as well. So taking out Cancelo is possibly a decent decision because I am myself going to do that pretty soon. And if you have to choose between holding one, so Stones being the cheaper one can take the basically take your City defender spot for
Mm.
now. But when it comes to Foden, I am not really sure if he gets the minutes because he is being rotated fairly more than we would have hoped for, and City being a part of the Champions League and the FA Cup is even a bigger concern because he gets a lot of minutes in the cup games and not the Premier League. I don't know if it's a pattern, but that tends to happen pretty often. And talking about Cavani, so that's a great shout because Martial is injured when he played for France. I think he got an assist, but he got injured, and there are rumors of a knee injury. So just hoping it's not too bad and he comes back soon. But Cavani could be a great shout because against Brighton, he is coming back from an injury himself, and he'll be hungry. So yeah, great shout, Cavani.
Yeah, but again, you did not talk about Jack Grealish and Mohamed Salah. That was my question to you. How cunningly did you avoid that?
No, so I mean, removing Salah could be a mistake and could be a great like blessing in disguise because I myself did that and luckily I did not be at the wrong side of it because Salah and hasn't been firing and Liverpool in general they haven't been scoring the same number of goals. So earlier when they used to score 3 or 4 goals every game, it was highly probable that either Salah or one of their attackers will be amongst the goals, and just one of those odd days wherein just Jota got the goal and Salah he himself is not firing when it comes to FPL, not the assist, not the goals. So Jack Grealish could be an option, but if you want to get him in, I would rather remove Rashford because he is not having a great time when it comes to injuries himself and niggling injuries. He's always had that, so possibly the right time to get rid of Rashford if you are looking for a Grealish move.
Interesting
So
point.
guys, you remember I removed Bamford and Gordon Aguero. So with Rashford, it's a very similar sort of a thing. The last time I removed Rashford, um, it was just before the reverse fixture against Brighton, and I took a hit and I removed Rashford and instead I got in Zaha. So Zaha blanked and Rashford scored against Brighton. So just because of that particular thing, I'm not touching Rashford at least against Brighton. So it's gonna be like the last dance for Rashford. If he does well, good. If he doesn't, then of course he will be going out after game week 30. But yeah, against Brighton, I'm not touching him. I'm not going close to Rashford.
But you're talking about captain picks close to the midfield in your team, and with Rashford, you had Bruno, and probably sticking with him for Brighton.
Absolutely. The man who scores after the match is finished against Brighton, he has to be there. So yeah, Bruno, it is.
Yeah, Akshay, what are your thoughts about Kane? Just because, like, I mean, definitely Newcastle do
Yeah,
look
just
like a
because it's Newcastle, you got it right. Yeah.
Makes sense, man. I'm really hopeful for KDB. That's kind of my gut feel, but definitely uh, lots to ponder and lots to uh, research before we get back in the groove of again coming into the final stretch of the home run stretch of the FPL season. So yeah, hopefully KDB does not get pep roulade and does play. So yeah, if he does, definitely both all the three Kane, KDB, Bruno, all the three are fulcrum for the teams that we've spoken times and times again.
Yeah. Also,
So
I'm really surprised that we didn't talk about Kane or Spurs assets a lot because they're playing
we did,
Newcastle.
but we did speak about them from the perspective of the game week 32 double game week rather than Newcastle because I
Yeah.
mean like but Akshay has like really summed it up like Spurs play Newcastle. I'm gonna captain Kane or Son or
Yeah,
any other.
I think
Absolutely.
Newcastle are
Yeah.
in a rut, so possibly the team to target, and Spurs they can exploit them on their day. So yeah, Kane could be a great shot.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And that does remain to be seen. But boys, it's been a pleasure again. It's been, getting back to the final stretch of the FPL season, a well-deserved break, much needed break rather, between the two game weeks. And for all of our listeners and supporters, all of our social media links are in the description down below. Do give this video a like if we've brought value to you. Do hit that subscribe button. It really helps us. And as always, I hope you enjoyed this one and have a good one. And as always, may the arrows be green. Peace.
Sure.